Hello everybody and welcome to day 18 of 30 Days of Godzilla. Today we're probably going to be discussing either my favorite or second favorite of the second series of Godzilla movies, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. It's a toss-up between this one and Godzilla vs. Destoroyah because both movies are pretty damn entertaining. This movie is responsible for bringing back King Ghidorah, who hasn't been seen in a Godzilla movie since Godzilla vs. Gigan, and I gotta say, the design for King Ghidorah is easily the best he has ever looked in any of the other Godzilla movies in history, in this one. This movie is awesome on all accounts. The plot is engaging, the action scenes are great, there's some very funny, unintentional comedy, and plus we get Godzilla's origin, which is a nice added bonus to this movie. The plot of this one involves people from the year 2204 who travel back to the present time to warn everyone that Godzilla will destroy them and they are here to save them. By the way, they call themselves the Futurians. I know, right? How clever. People from the future call themselves Futurians. Cool. Futurians are pretty good villains for a Godzilla movie. They have a robot named M11 who shares some of the funniest scenes in the movie. So they tell them that they must stop Godzilla or he will completely wipe out Japan. Now this is where the origin of Godzilla comes into play because in World War II, during a battle on Lagos Island between US and Japanese forces, a dinosaur that appeared and attacked US troops. This dinosaur would later become Godzilla. So the Futurians want people from the present day to go back in time with them to help eliminate Godzilla from existence. Now this might sound like a good idea, but in reality, it would drastically alter the timeline, making their visit probably not likely to happen. Anyways, they agree and travel back in time. They bring these three little horrifying looking creatures called Dorats with them. They're evil. They're evil. Sorry, I had something in my throat. What did I say again? Oh yeah, they're evil. Anyways, these World War II scenes are hilarious due to the scenes with the Americans. So the Godzillasaurus attacks the Americans and the Navy blasts Godzilla. They think they kill him, which leads to perhaps my favorite line in any Godzilla movie.
Hey! Got him! Take that, you dinosaur!
I'm sorry, the line is just too funny. It's just so stupid. But just the way the guy says it. Take that, you dinosaur. Move on before I piss myself laughing. As expected, they don't actually kill it and it gets back up and kills the rest of them. One of the Japanese commanders named Shindo gets emotional about the dinosaur because he knows that without it, then he would have most likely died. Anyways, the Futurians teleport Godzilla away from the island, and instead of that, they leave these horrifying creatures that I spoke about a minute ago called Dorats in Godzilla's place. Nobody questions this whatsoever. Well, negative repercussions that could take place. I don't know, it seems pretty fishy to me, but these people don't question it. So they arrive back into the present time, but Japan has more problems because those three creatures were the ones hit by the H-bomb, and it turned into King Ghidorah, and it's being controlled by the Futurians. So basically, they replaced Godzilla with King Ghidorah. Japan replaced one problem with another problem. Basically, they fucked themselves. Any way you go, Japan just continuously fucks themselves. Poor Japan. Anyways, one of the Futurians feels guilty, so she goes and explains to one of the present-day people about what their plan was originally. She tells them that everything that she said about Godzilla was total bullshit, and that one day Japan would start buying up every nation on the entire planet and become very powerful, so the Futurians really wanted to stop them. So Japan is completely out of options, so they decide that the best thing to do to combat King Ghidorah is to once again create another Godzilla. So they go to where Godzilla was supposedly at, but a strange twist happens here, in that there was already another Godzilla in existence. You see, the dinosaur on Lagos isn't the Godzilla from 1954, it's actually the Godzilla from 1984. When they had transported the dinosaur in the first place, it turns out they picked a bad spot because a Russian sub would eventually sink in that same spot years later, which gave off enough nuclear energy that created the second Godzilla. And now he is even more powerful because he absorbed energy from another nuclear submarine. That's actually a pretty clever way to explain why Godzilla didn't appear until the 1980s. I mean, this is the second Godzilla who was created in the Cold War, and honestly my mind is blown. It's completely blown away that they actually created the Godzilla from the second series unintentionally. It's pretty cool. I mean, you have to look out for it because a lot of people didn't really notice this. I mean, I didn't notice this the first time I saw it. I had to really pay attention to get this, but then after that I'm just like, whoa. That's mind-boggling. It also explains why everyone didn't automatically lose their memory of Godzilla, because this is in fact the second Godzilla of its kind. It still doesn't exactly explain where the very first Godzilla came from, but I assume since there was one dinosaur, there must have been another, and maybe that was the one that was hit by the nukes. But still, I think it's a cool way to tie the movie in with the original and the second series origins. So Godzilla reappears, and I have to say that this is probably my favorite design of the character. It's absolutely perfect. Anyways, Godzilla goes and fights King Ghidorah, who's being controlled by the Futurians. It looks like King Ghidorah may have the advantage until the ship is sabotaged by the present-day people, and the M11 android that was reprogrammed to be good, I guess. So Godzilla and King Ghidorah continue their battle, and it's honestly great to watch. Very engaging. At one point, Godzilla just uses atomic breath and just fucking blasts King Ghidorah's head off, and King Ghidorah goes flying out to sea and just crashes right into the ocean, like the punk bitch that he is. After he beats King Ghidorah, Godzilla then destroys the Futurian ship. So now that King Ghidorah has been officially beaten, Japan has another problem. Godzilla, the problem that they were originally trying to get rid of, something they made worse by fueling him with even more nuclear power. Japan just keeps creating like a cycle of problems. It's just like, good God, how do we stop it? Will it just ever fucking end? So with Godzilla back, he continues his rampage. The only way to stop him was with King Ghidorah, so the people head back to the future to fix up King Ghidorah and bring him back to the present to fight Godzilla. Now, before they arrive back to the present, there's this one scene in particular that's both emotional and funny. Shindo, the commander on Lagos in World War II, who was saved by Godzilla, has an emotional moment where he confronts Godzilla through the window of one of his buildings. He starts to cry, and then Godzilla recognizes him, and the two of them share a moment. Then in one of the funniest scenes ever, Godzilla just fucking blows him up with his radioactive fire. I know it's a sad moment and all, or it's supposed to be. I just kind of find it funny. It's just like, oh, Godzilla, why are you doing this? You saved my life. I'm getting really emotional over here. And Godzilla's like, oh yeah, me too. Well, you know what? Shut up, bitch. I don't know. It should be emotional, but I found it funny. I'm sorry, people. I'm a sick bastard that way. After Godzilla kills Shindo, the people come back with King Ghidorah, who has been repaired and now has a completely metal head and is full of all new weapons. You can officially call this monster Mecha-King Ghidorah, and it's pretty damn cool. Then we have the final battle, which is pretty awesome. It might be my favorite in the entire series. Just seeing everything get destroyed and getting to see all that Mecha-King Ghidorah is capable of, the battle is pretty well put together, and the finale has Godzilla and King Ghidorah, of course, crashing into the sea. It just has to end like that. The monsters almost always have to crash into the sea, because it's just so much cooler that way. So the people from the future head back to their own time, and the final shot is of Godzilla underwater and ready for another round, which we will talk about next time. Well, that takes care of that one. What can I say? The movie has everything that any Godzilla fan could want in a movie. I mean, it brings back his most famous foe, there's some good action and some unintentional comedy with the robot M11. The scenes with the American soldiers are funny, and that scene where Godzilla blows up Shindo is also pretty hilarious. But the movie itself has got some great battles in that, and good music. Overall, kick-ass movie. Well, that concludes today's episode. Be sure to come back tomorrow because in the next review, as you can tell right here, Toho would once again bring back another one of their most famous monsters to combat Godzilla. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.